Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today we're going to be talking about Ironsight's ranked game mode because I sat down a few nights ago and played it. Needless to say, I wasn't really impressed. I've been playing first-person shooters competitively for years now, and I can say with confidence that Ironsight's competitive game mode, as it stands right now, is one of the worst online competitive experiences I've ever played. Now, I don't want people to perceive this video as me hating on Ironsight. I think that the product that we currently have right now is good based off the fact that it's 100% free and it's from a game developer and publisher that I've never heard of prior to myself finding this game. I also don't want this video to be perceived as me just comparing Ironsight to every single AAA shooter out there. I'm fully aware that Whipple Games and Area Games have nowhere near the same amount of funding that a company like Ubisoft or Activision might have for their games. This video is all about constructive feedback and putting my thoughts and opinions out there as a player who's clocked thousands of hours into pretty much every competitive first-person shooter you can name. So that being said, what is the deal with Ironsight's competitive game mode? It's pretty standard. You have your 5 versus 5 search and destroy match on all of the maps in the game with no class restrictions, meaning that if you own a piece of equipment, you can use it, which in itself is fine, bar a few things which I feel need to either be completely removed from the game or nerfed a little bit. For the most part, players that I played with and against all had their very own loadout, so there was no dominant weapon completely throwing off the balance of the matches, nor were there any abusive strategies or glitches being used to cheat wins in any way. So, you might be saying to yourself, well, if you like Ironsight's gameplay, just playing it casually, you're going to enjoy the competitive game mode, right? Because it stays true to its gameplay, and, it seems fine. And you'd be right in saying that if it actually functioned properly. So to begin with, you play your 5 placement matches, you get your rank. Currently it's based off win-loss, so going on a large win streak will shoot you further up the ranks. As far as I know, there is absolutely no skill-based matchmaking in the game, which is a huge problem for a ranked game mode. To top that off, I found myself being put into the same team playing against the same enemy team after every match that I played. I got stuck in the same lobby for 3 matches in a row, even after I backed out to the main menu once my match was over, which in my opinion is a big deal, but you could maybe throw that off to the side and blame it on the fact that there might just not be that many people playing this game competitively at the time of making this video. But this puts me on to my next complaint. Because I was put into the same lobby 3 matches in a row, I noticed that one of my teammates was in the same clan as 2 of the guys in the enemy team, which was a head scratcher for me because it essentially means that if you're a similar rank to your buddies and you want to help them boost their rank, you could effectively just queue at the same time, pray that you get into the same lobby, and then throw matches to let your buddy win, which in my opinion is really dumb. The worst thing about it is the game actually forces this behavior out of players who want to play together in the ranked game mode, as you can't actually queue for ranked with any of your buddies. You have to queue for ranked at the same time and pray that you get into the same team. So to summarize, we have a ranked game mode that will throw you into the same lobby that you just came out of versus the same enemies with the same teammates who may or may not be far better or far worse than you because there's no skill-based matchmaking and it's all based off win-loss, where the enemies and the teammates could actually be big IRL buddies and throw matches for one another just by playing bad or ghosting for their mate that they're in a Discord call with. Just based off that one paragraph, who would ever want to touch the ranked game mode for this game? There's very little information about the overarching rank system in the game. After doing some digging, I was able to find that there's actually 6 ranks with their own elo brackets, which I can only assume are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and masters. The source for that information is this image that I have displayed on screen now with Korean writing, and what I'm assuming is the actual elo brackets for all of the ranks. There is a leaderboard system in game, but anytime that I tried to use it to find out where I am compared to other players, it just said that there was no information to show at the time, which was kind of a letdown. So if you enjoy playing nothing but search and destroy, getting matched with the same teammates every match versus the same enemies, and having little information on where you're at in your own rank, or how the overall ranking system works in the game, then Ironsight's ranked game mode is probably for you. For those of you who are looking for a more rich competitive experience with more variety, tactics, and respectful matchmaking involved, listen to the feedback that I'm about to lay down for the developers here. My favorite all-time first-person shooter back in the day whenever I was 16 years old with no life was Call of Duty. Now I'm a 19-year-old with no life and Call of Duty's went downhill, so I'm trying to replace the feeling that I got from Call of Duty with Ironsight. The instant, fast, satisfying, engaging gameplay that I got from Call of Duty can exist in Ironsight, it just doesn't exist in the ranked playlist, as you're limited to playing nothing but search and destroy. I feel like the technology and the know-how is in the development team over at Whipple Games to add more game modes into Ironsight as a whole. Take for example Hardpoint from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. It would fit so well onto a map like Dam, as it would make for some intense, engaging competitive matches both for the players and for anyone watching someone playing the actual match. I have a 2.07 kill death ratio and a 63% win-loss in casual, and I was being matched with players in the ranked game mode who could barely get out of spawn without running into a wall. It was ridiculous to watch and made the overall experience painful if and when I died. Occasionally, I would get one or two players who were better than me, and that's okay. However, the skill gap was so noticeable whenever it came to the players who were worse than me. It just wasn't fun because I was getting matches where I was getting like 18 kills a match, and I just kind of felt like I was bullying players who just weren't, familiar with first-person shooter mechanics. Providing the players with a way for them to actually track what rank they are, showing them how close they are to their next rank, would be a major improvement too. Right now, as it stands, the only indicator for your rank is the one on your calling card on the main menu. It tells you your rank and your global rank. There's no progress bar, and there's nowhere that actually tells you what the ranks are in game. Heck, you can't even compare yourself to other players in your lobby as it stands, so you don't know if you're going to have a bronze in your team or like a master in your team, or if the match is even fair, because there's no way for you to tell. Adding a way for players who are friends to actually play with one another would be a good idea too. What I would do is I would reduce the player count in each team down to 4 players per team, have a solo mode, a duo mode, and a squad mode, maybe even a trio mode. All these modes would have their own separate ranking systems, so you could be a master in solo, but only platinum in duo because the one buddy that you play duos with is a trash silver. Of course, if you're playing solo, you would be matched with 3 other players who queued for solo in your team, and then another 4 in the enemy team. Same goes for duos, you'd be matched with another 2 players in your team who also queued for duos. That type of system just makes more sense in my head, because that way players have their own individual rank, meaning how they perform without their friends, and then how they perform with their friends, so on and so forth. With the trio mode, you'd be able to queue with 2 of your buddies and then pick up 1 random in your team. That way people who only play in a group of 3 would not be excluded from the ranked game mode as well. So more game modes, more options on how you want to play, e.g. as a squad or on your own, more rank and statistic tracking, as well as explanations as to how the ranking system works for new players. Introducing them to the ranked game mode once they hit like a certain level, maybe 20 for example, via a pop-up on the main menu, that might be a good idea. If they added in more game modes for casual players too, if they plan on adding them in at all, it would be cool. Take for example maybe Kill Confirmed, might be a good game mode to add for just people who want to play a little bit casually. Once they add these new game modes, they should make it so that the game mode that you play in the ranked playlist is random on a random map, but also making it so that you never play the same game mode on the same map twice in a row. This would cause the player to go out of their way to make more diverse or more game mode specific custom classes, which the developers could actually monetize, because right now, you can only use free custom classes. So maybe adding in another 2 that you could maybe purchase for £5, or like a couple AP that you can get from your daily logins or doing challenges, might also be a good idea. I actually have a list of game modes that I would like to see come competitively into Ironsight. So the first one being Hardpoint. This is a game mode where a random area on the map is selected and players are going to fight over this one point. Whenever a player jumps on the point, they're going to start earning points for their team, and it would cap out at 250 points. That would be the winner. So whenever a player just jumps on, it earns like 1 point per second if you're standing on it. Doesn't matter how many players are standing on the objective, the amount that you earn per second stays at a flat rate of like 1 or whatever the developers deem fit. But it would just be a battle over that point basically. So that is Hardpoint. Next up, we have Capture the Flag. So both teams have a flag, and your objective is to steal the enemy's flag and bring it back to your own to score a point. So both teams have a flag. The enemies are able to pick up your flag, you're able to pick up theirs, and if your flag is missing from your base, you're not able to score a point, even if you bring the enemy flag back to yours. So you have to have your flag in your base and then the enemy's flag on your back, run into your flag that's in your base, so you're able to score a point. Seems pretty straightforward. I don't know why it's not even in the game at the minute. Just seems like one of those game modes that should be in every first-person shooter. Next up, we have Uplink. So in this game mode, a ball is going to spawn in the middle of the map that the two teams are going to fight over. One player is able to pick up the ball, and once that player has the ball in their hands, their job is to throw it into the enemy team's goalpost to score a point. So you're just fighting over this ball, and then a player has to run up to the ball, pick it up, that'll put their weapon away, and then it's up to the other 3 players in your team to cover you while you make your way into the enemy spawn or into the enemy's base to throw it into their goalpost so you can earn a point. Seems pretty straightforward, and I just thought it was a very good game mode. It was a game mode that was in Advanced Warfare, and that's the game mode that I was third in the world in on the PS4 leaderboard, so I'm a little bit biased with this one. I would like to see it in the game. Next up, we have Domination. This is, again, a very popular Call of Duty game mode. 3 flags are going to spawn on the map. One is going to be in each spawn, so one in your team spawn, and then one in the enemy's team spawn, and then one in the middle of the map. The more flags you hold, the more points you're going to get per second, so it's just a fight over who can hold the most flags at the one time, and just keep them and earn those points over time, and then it's first to like 200 points or whatever the developers deem fit. And finally, we have a forgotten game mode called Blitz. This is in Call of Duty Ghosts, and it is basically where your objective is to slide into a teleporter that is in the enemy spawn. So you'd have, 3 players attacking the enemy spawn, trying to get into their portal, and then you'd have 1 player defending. It was just a very fun game mode, and I would like to see it make a return to Ironsight, just because I think it's one of those game modes that is very unique, and it could attract a pretty niche audience. But other than that, that is really all there is to say about the rank system in Ironsight. I just want to have like a more streamlined, clear process of what rank am I, how many points do I need, or how many matches do I have to win until I get into my next match. I want to be put up against players who are around the same skill level as me, so I'm not just completely shitting on people or getting shat on. I also want matchmaking to be good, so that way I'm not being put into a lobby that I was already in, and I'm also not being put into a lobby which has, 1 clan member in my team and then like another 2 clan members in the enemy team. So it just seems a little bit disingenuous whenever you're playing against 2 players who also has a buddy in your team. Like if you get shot around a corner, how are you meant to believe that that was legit? Like the guy that was in your team could have simply ghosted you to the 2 buddies that was in the enemy team type of thing. So just making it so that that can't happen would be ideal, and also making it so that, like, just throwing the ranked playlist in the player's face would be fantastic, and adding all those new game modes, adding freelane maps, all that stuff would be very appreciated. And I mean, if they go ahead with that, I think that they can make a very enjoyable to watch competitive mode, and also a very enjoyable to play competitive mode. But it kind of lays on the developer's shoulders, and it also lays on the community shoulders as well, to sort of talk about it and get the ideas going, because that's what this is all about. It's about bouncing ideas back and forth off one another. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know if you think I missed anything. Let me know about your experience in the ranked game mode in Ironsight. And other than that, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Ironsight videos from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I almost said Warframe there. I'm so used to that, but thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one.